This is not a biblically accurate angel. Nor this. Nor this. Uh-uh. So not. Nope.
What?
That is not an angel.
But you're in luck today, because we're making a real one in 3D. So, even though a lot of people consider these to be the original angels, they're actually not right. These little chubby babies have taken the identity of the real angels.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
In this video, I am going to make the Ophanim. Now, these divine creatures are only seen by Prophet Ezekiel, and I'm happy that I was not him because I would totally freak out. And this is what he wrote. As for their appearance, all four of them looked alike. Each was like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the four directions the creatures faced. The wheels did not change direction as the creatures went. Their rims were high and awesome. And all four rims were full of eyes all around. When the living beings moved, the wheels moved with them. When the living beings rose, they rose from the ground. Wherever the spirit would go, they would go, and the wheels would rise along with them. For the spirit of the living beings was in the wheels. So I started modeling. I began with the ring, and I decided to just work in 1/4 of it. At the end, everything would be the same, so I thought if I just minimized the work, then I could finish it faster and not spend 2 or 3 days on this just one model. I had no idea how I was going to make it. I didn't plan it, and I didn't want to make a sketch or anything. I wanted to show how one could just tackle this from zero. Now, I decided also to start modeling the eye. So after making the eye and the 1/4 of the ring, I decided to put it in a different collection and just put it manually. I know I could do this with particles or geometry nodes, but I didn't want to. I wanted to have this unique human touch to it. So I just went on and started adding little eyes everywhere. And there was a point where I started to see this Georgian dish in it. I was hungry, but my goal was put. I needed to finish this. I found an eye texture and I just projected it right into the eyeball. I just combined a glass and a principal shader material, and then I just duplicated the eye on all of the little eyes. Something weird that happened is that when I started to put the eyes, it was nothing. It was just like just putting eyeballs. But the more I put eyes, the more weird I felt. I was like, for some reason, I think psychologically, these eyes just looking at you was kind of messing with me. And you start put more and more and more and more, and they just look at you, and it was a bit creepy, to be honest. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know how it would be to see this thing right in front of you. It was definitely fun to start to rotate the eyes. At the end of the day, if something has a lot of eyes, then it would be illogical if all the eyes just look at one place, right? So I started rotating them too. Then I thought about what texture would this ring have. I thought, should it be just like ethereal, perfect, and shiny? Or maybe it should be a little bit rugged, maybe damaged. And then it got me thinking. It really got me thinking. Like, if you are a super divine being, like, you have to fight rebellious spiritual beings like demons, right? So I bet this angel got into a big fight. So I added rugged edges, and I decided to add on top of it like manual sculpting of damages. So after remeshing, I decided to go in manually and sculpt detail. Fortunately, I didn't have to animate or make this game ready, so I had the freedom of adding as much polygons, taking and adding detail as I saw fit. So that was pretty relaxing, because if I were to model this, let's say for a game or a Unity game, then I would have to retopologize it, and I would have to rig it, and probably I would have to make some sort of rigged system that makes all the eyes move, individually or maybe in my groups. I used Fluent, and Fluent had this note that really helped you into getting a very nice texture at the end. It has edge nodes and cavity nodes, so it's really convenient. I could have jumped to Substance Painter, but I really wanted to try Fluent, and I really liked it. I knew I wanted an HDRI, so I just went to Polyhaven, HDRI Heaven, downloaded a free cloud one, and then I just pumped up more textures on top of it. Really wanted to add this weird, unrealistic yet realistic feeling to it. You know, like cracks should be dark, but what if you add a little bit of white to it, and then maybe the edges could be a little bit blue. At the end of the day, we are working with a divine being, so there is no right or wrong, I hope. I imported some BDB Cloud, try to give it this heavenly vibe. And after painting it, and I started to duplicate it, I put a camera. I added a very long focal length. I wanted it to make it feel big. I messed a little bit with the rings so that they went good with the golden ratio composition. I added a flame in the middle, composited clouds a little bit, and I needed something human in it. I was not happy with this. So, as I do in a lot of my artworks, for some reason I love stairs. So I made a huge stair. I don't know how huge would this be, but I made a huge stair and I put it beside it, and I thought, you know what, this is nice, I should duplicate it and I will put it everywhere. And now we have contrast. Now we know approximately how big a human is. I loved it. And then I pressed render and it didn't render, and then I pressed render it again and it didn't render, and then I clicked rendered and then it got stuck here and it just didn't render. I don't know what was I doing wrong. I had enough GPU memory, everything was checked, there was nothing in the background. I restarted my computer and nothing was working. And then it got me. I asked ChatGPT to make an add-on to render with the power of God, and so I did. ChatGPT, make an add-on that we use God's power to render a work. I copied the code. I went into preferences. I selected the add-on. I installed it. I pressed the button. I waited. And it happened. Now that's an angel. But if you want to watch the post-processing of this video, you can watch it on my Patreon. Also, I will be uploading the file so you can get it from there. Remember that it's a great opportunity to support independent artists like me. Also, the add-on will be there. So I hope you liked this video and see you again next time. Bye!